Well, good morning. We are at the Superdome in Ben Franklin Park for a special broadcast on concussions in sports. And we have been covering the issue since 6 o'clock this morning. We continue to cover it. I just want to remind our viewers, we have received some feedback this morning, and we want to thank you for sending in your questions and your comments. We are taking on the issue of concussions in sports today. We recognize concussions can happen in many different aspects. As we heard earlier this morning from Dr. Zemek, Chio recorded 800 concussions, 400 of which were for sports. The other 400 were not sports related. But we've decided to focus this show in on concussions in sports. So that being said, I also want to remind our viewers that if you're tuning in to get your news updates, you can log on to our YouTube channel to get the top stories of the day. That's CTV Ottawa Morning Live as well. The information on the top stories is at the bottom of your screen. So moving on, I want to introduce two local athletes. We've heard from the professionals today. We've heard from the experts. We want to hear from the teenagers. We want to hear from the kids playing the sports, and that's where you two come in. To my right, I have Rowan Harris, 17 years old, in your last year of high school. And we also have Brian Laight, 18 years old. You just graduated. Congratulations,
Thank
Brian.
you very much.
Both of you have experienced concussions. And Brian, I want to start with you. Yours started when you were very young. Tell us about what happened to you.
Yeah, so I was 7 years old and I was just skating with some friends, and I guess I fell and my helmet wasn't on properly and it slipped back and I hit my head on the ice, and didn't really think much of it until about the next day when I was in severe pain, like I couldn't function at all.
Well, you were very young.
Yeah.
So had you ever heard of concussion? You didn't know what that meant?
No clue what it was. I went to the hospital and they're like, oh yeah, we have to wake you up every 2 hours, and I just wanted to sleep, right?
And you've had more concussions since then?
Yeah, I've had 4 in total.
To the tune of taking you out of hockey?
Yeah.
You no longer play your sport?
My third one actually put me out. I was supposed to be out for about 2 months, but it ended up being about 8. It was just a dirty hit to the head.
How has that affected your life?
Well, in grade 11, my marks suffered a lot. Like, I used to be a mid-80 student and I dropped down to low 70s. I've noticed a few things have been off, like short-term memory a bit, but other than that, I think I'm back to normal now.
It took some time.
Yeah.
So you're not playing hockey anymore, you play rugby now.
I do now, yes.
And do you have a different outlook when you play rugby, knowing that you could still get a concussion playing rugby? Are you a little safer in the game, and do you take it differently if you are hit?
Yeah. With rugby, I find you don't get injured more often when you're getting hit, but when you're hitting.
Okay.
So I try and take care when I'm doing the hitting, but I still try and hit as best I can.
Rowan, you used to play soccer.
I did, yeah.
You loved soccer.
Yeah, it was my life for a while. Going into summer of grade 8, I received a hit to the head. A ball came up and hit me, and I kept playing the game. And I got multiple more hits. When I got afterwards, throughout the rest of the game. And I went back to playing the next day too, just at practice. And it started off just wait a week, rest, see what happens, then 2 weeks, then it was a month. Ended up being 11 months I was out from sports. So I got back just before grade 9. That was perfect. I got back to soccer, got playing again. And then about February of grade 9, I got hit again. I was at my first tryout back to my team, and I went up for a header with another girl, and I just clashed heads, and I knew I just got to stop. I kept playing a bit more, took a header, and then that was it.
It took you out for a while again?
Yeah, I was out for 2.5 years now, and I'm still feeling side effects now. So,
what are the side effects you feel?
I've been recovered, I've been cleared to play, but running still, I get headaches, I can't run for too long, or if it's just too much going on, I get too exhausted, get too worked up. I just need to take a step back and relax. So.
You're no longer playing soccer?
No, doctor said it's a bit too dangerous to play and keep going, so I've started field hockey. I'm a goalie now, so wear a helmet. And as long as I'm sure I pay attention to what I'm doing, if I get hit, you stop, back away. If you rest for a day, and make sure you're doing okay, then you're fine. What's
the message you guys want to get out to teenagers who are playing the game and say, oh, I'm fine, I can just get back in, I might be up for a scholarship, or I've got to make tryouts? And I mean, that's what's going to happen as we sign our kids up right now for fall sports, right? They want to play football, they want to play soccer. We're not saying don't play those sports, but what's the message to keep safety top of mind from you guys? You just need to take the pressure off of yourself to keep playing, really, and everyone around you needs to be sure that they know too that you can't
keep pushing someone to keep playing if they're hurting. And the athletes need to realize that there could be something really wrong with you. You could be out for so long, so it's much safer to just take a day off, make sure you're feeling okay, and then go maybe back in a week, a day or two, but make sure you take that time for yourself.
Rowan, you've started an initiative in your school to raise awareness. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it started with me and another friend. We both suffered from long-term concussions, and we realized when you're concussed, you feel so isolated, right? You're by yourself, you're in your room. I spent a couple summers by myself in my room doing nothing.
Yeah, to heal.
Pretty much. I mushroomed it, really, is what we called it. So having somebody else to be there and go through it all with you is so important, I think. And so we've sort of reached out into the other teens at our high school to sort of say, we're here for you. This is what we did. If we can help you in any way possible, this is what we did. We're here for you, right? And we've involved the guidance counselors and all that. Our school has recognized the importance of concussions and not having to push through school, and how having a concussion can really affect your school life. As you said, your marks drop and you need that accommodations.
So you've created this group to support other kids who have gone through it like yourselves. Brian, Rowan, thank you so much. We really appreciate you both sharing your stories with us this morning. Best of luck to you in your final year of high school, and good luck, Brian, whatever you do beyond your year. And both good luck in all of your sports and your future endeavors.